You have more important things in life to think about than your internet. At BreezeLine, we propel life forward with home internet so reliable, you don't have to think about it. With a team that goes above and beyond, fiber-powered speeds up to 1 gig, and 99.9% reliability at any hour, in any room. You won't have to think about your internet again. Go to breezeline.com for internet that propels life forward.
Here at Mountain Esports, we take it to the next level. Our players have the ability to travel, compete, and even participate on the caffeine committee. Check out the Insta to see what's new with Mountain Esports today.
At the Mount, things are, well, elevated. And it's not just because we're on a mountain. The experience at a small college like Mount Aloysius is actually personal. The faculty and staff know my goals. It's a level of support you won't find at other colleges. And the Mount backs it up with career-focused partnerships and majors. As soon as I visited, it just felt like home. That's what makes this place different. Makes college elevated. Mount Aloysius College.
We asked 10 Mountie Esports players 10 specific questions, and these are their answers.
Watermelon Ice from Gamer Subs.
Ghost Energy, either the cans or the pre-workout, either work.
So I used to be a Ghost favorite, but now
Too long.
White Monster for sure.
Monster, the Fantasy Red Ruby.
The Mountie GG Gamer Subs that they provide.
Taco Bell, absolutely.
McDonald's is so much better.
Taco Bell has to be. I've eaten too much McDonald's since it's right down the street.
McDonald's. I like the Oreo McFlurries.
I'm gonna choose Taco Bell because it gives me less stomach problems than McDonald's does.
McDonald's all the way.
There's levels to this, and Taco Bell is at the top one.
Sheets guy all the way.
I actually don't know what Wawa is, but Sheets.
I gotta say Wawa. I grew up with Wawa, and I just think the food's better.
Sheets is the best thing to grace our planet.
I'd have to go with Sheets. Definitely rough.
Injustice, no J-Naps.
Hydron, probably.
Probably T-Corral.
Either Skippy or T-Corral.
Croc.
Pokemon Red for the Game Boy Color.
Webkins. That was the first video game I've ever played, Webkins.
League of Legends. Sadly, that was the first game. That's one of the only games that I played. I just enjoy it so much.
Mario Kart 7 on the DS.
No bully.
Probably PGE.
Some of the top maps.
Definitely PGE.
Angry Ginge or somebody in that realm, like Speed and stuff, they're pretty funny.
Probably my dorm.
Definitely Birchie.
I think the pond has been the greatest exclusive we buy.
The library, it just got renovated, much nicer, much quieter.
Definitely my room.
Probably the IT area in the library.
Yes, I love snowboarding. I've been snowboarding my whole life.
Are you a snow person?
Not really, no. I don't really like the cold a whole lot.
I prefer summer.
Only for playing Snow Day in Rocket League.
No. Yeah, I love snow.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm from upstate New York.
I love snow. I think it's so fun.
I think I would play, I don't even know. That's the only game that I play.
Probably competitive TF2.
Probably Rivals, yeah.
I'd probably just play Trackmania.
I think the culture at Smash is insane. I would love to play Smash.
I'd probably play Madden.
Gotta be Mount Aloysius College. You can't beat them.
Mounties, obviously.
I'm Aloysius, of course.
Oh my gosh, this isn't the question. Mountie esports.
I mean, gotta be the Mounties, right? The culture here is unmatched.
The Mount Aloysius esports program.
Obviously, Mount Aloysius.
You're looking at it.
Gotta be the Mounties Esports.
Cool.
Falling back to the defensive side. Gonna end up back on the defense. It's Little Gamer, one shot denied. Second one, the Iron Wall standing tall here on the front back line here for Mapletown. Into the corner, looking for the pass across mid. Joshua through the sky, and the handoff near perfect, but it's Wright who gets credited with the goal here.
And this is how you make up for previous mistakes. Off that corner, cuts in wonderfully. Flip preset as well. Teammate tries to take.
It's a very dangerous way to live.
Well, it looks like they're going for kickoff goals to try and like equalize here, and I'll give them credit. It is a nice sort of strategy, but it can be punished.
It's the possession game. Again, they've scored 6 goals, but for a majority of this game, they've also been on their opponent's side of the field. Grills, bounce down shot here. Johnny is going to go for the rebound and will eventually score it.
Very nice shot on the top right.
Up cup will be dropped in as you had 2 laying up for the defenders.
Completely different team, and I have to give him credit, but of course it might not be enough as Pup streaks him from the side, catches him mid-air, and says thank you for the opportunity.
Over adjustment by Sundare as they actually stepped up from their near side post.
Their chance. They had the look. They had a chance to bully it forward. They just slid a little too far. Something that happened in game 1. It's right over. Oh, what a touch for Billy. Oh, what a play for Billy. You wanted him to show up all game. He does. He gets the scoring going, and he closes the conversation. left up to the field. You never know what you're going to get on any given series. Hold on. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, it was a fake. Oh, you know what? I'm going to say he was going for it in a tactically quote-unquote fake here.
Maybe a time to sweep the leg and find a way to take advantage on the 3v2. It's in the corner. Nice bump, as one says. Jay sets up the teammate. And they have very successfully been able to take this lead and cut it in half.
And that's the right play from Jay. Way to get back involved in the offense.
Off the ceiling. Thought he was going to get that off the backboard, but he'll just take the ceiling pinch instead.
Following up with the defense, and now you're saying regardless of who takes this game, I don't feel like there's going to be too much momentum gathered from them unless they truly can put the style on it, and Panel Bucket might just be the hero.
But this time around, it's confirmed not to be deja vu, as the outcome's very different, as this is a quick equalizer for Penn Trafford.
There's no deja vu. There's no mystical components of this game.
Defensive Hempfield for Franklin Regional to potentially tie this one up.
Yeah, you saw, unfortunately, though, the bump, although it did come through, there was just no kind of pass out.
Call him you, Pyro, if that's all right with yourself, and we'll work from there.
No, you. Oh, you. Oh, my. Nugget. Another one, and it's assisted by you.
Look at this passing play. I mean, 3-player passing play down the field.
Will find its way back towards the front third. Still for MPA, pushing across the goal line. Tough OT will score.
Of the distraction and awkwardness on the back end, that pop from JD3 left everybody in no man's land besides for Bless.
No, it hasn't resulted in, a half dozen scores like they put up almost in the previous game, but has resulted in a lead. As I said before, lead of 1, lead of 5, lead of 10. It's all a W in the end. And a fantastic
I'm playing most colleges that I recognize just.
Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy Q, and welcome back for some more PIEA action powered by the esports company. And y'all already know how it gets down on Tuesday. It's time for some Rocket League, and I got the homie Pyro J with me. Got 2 banger matchups, should be a lot of fun. Pyro, you ready to get down to it?
Absolutely. Division 1 Rocket League here for the PIEA is something to get excited about. 2 teams in the first match that are kind of throwing punches, trying to get up there in the rankings so that they can have playoff qualification. Meanwhile, our second match today have 2 front runners, Titan v Titan matchup. It's a lot to get to, a lot of action to get this boiled down, Q. So I'm ready to get into it. Let that soccer ball fly.
Should be a lot of fun. We're going to give them the go-ahead to join up their sides here. They were eager to get down to it before, but let's go ahead and get things started. Y'all already know the rules. If not, maybe it's your first time through. I know sometimes we get some new pairs here and there. It's best of 5 action. So first game often seen as that sort of feeler out game. And I feel like for Homer Center, a team that I've gotten to see a couple of weeks in a row, it does feel like a team that has started to catch their stride. I feel like for them, if they find some early success, they've been a vibes team. If they're able to get the gas and get things going early, they just might run it up.
They're running up the rebounds, I'll tell you that much. A nice shot towards the net, followed by 2. Make it now 3 shots near the net. And they're inching closer and closer to the goal line. But the thing is, McDowell have the answers. And that's something I'm keeping an eye on the side of McDowell. Yes, Homer Center, they can get the vibes going, but can McDowell get a win on the board? 0-2 so far in conference play. Looking for that first dub today.
So far, we've seen a really good job of being able to keep this McDowell squad back. I thought Dark was going to be able to find a shot. This time around, it's Calix. Their shot is high. Dark off of the rebound will be able to punch that one home. And while it might have been a while that the defense was able to hold the line, eventually Homer Center finds that first goal.
I mean, he's got home field advantage. What is this, Manfield Night? Dark rising for the first goal in splendid fashion. Again, that's Homer Center with nearly complete field domination, which is all going to change in the matter of a moment. Pinch off the wall from Very Misk nearly goes in.
Shots coming across, almost finds its way in. Panda Calix will be able to find the save and looks to flip the pitch, but will bail back for just a moment. Look to try and find a way to pick it up off the sidewalk. We'll just couldn't quite get there. However, McDowell still looking for a way to find the clear. They'll at least send it boomingly down into that blue half, with the problem being we're able to keep the possession. So N. Taylor and company now just able to go right back on the offensive here, Pyro.
Yeah, it seems that McDowell really only getting time on the other side of the field when they earn a long clear. Saw it on that pinch on the wall. We saw it on another long clear from Very Misk, but unless Very Misk is barreling this ball down the field, it's hard to see McDowell setting up shop on the other side. You also have to consider that it looks like from McDowell, one of their players who appears to be from the future, 2026 Elite 2 AM, is staying in net. That all-time goalie is going to leave resources thin when McDowell are trying to score.
Oh, 2026 Elite's doing a great job, at least keeping the back line clear. Granted, they've been challenged too much. I mean, not just quite yet. Well, maybe the chance here is it will be Dark finding the back of the net. And I really like the teamwork, making the dream work. It's a simple pass, simple shot, but the ball gets moving like that, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, at this point, feed the hot hand. It is Dark for 2 goals on 2 shots. Yet right now on the MVP watch is the Panda Calix. While we do have the 2 goals from Dark, it is Calix teeing up both of those shots. He also is representing the team as the top savior, 2 of the team's 2 saves. So while Dark is putting through the goals, Calix is definitely one to keep an eye on as they're facilitating and keeping this team together, as well as setting up another pass in front of the net. This one nearly scored on as well.
Calix is a name that I've definitely gotten to see develop over the years. I do believe as a senior this year around and has really come into their own right. You've mentioned really being able to produce on both sides of the ball the way that they've been doing this week so far. Final 90 seconds as Dark looks to send that across. Will pay the price. Fortunately, though, no one from McDowell able to keep the handle, so it's a pass, and Tater now also pops it up. Dark not going to quite commit to that, and for good reason, as all of a sudden get picked up and goes the opposite way. Quickly shut down, though, as Homer Center. Their defense has done a phenomenal job of really restricting every visit down into their half.
Have indeed, but another visit is percolating here. 2026 Elite 2 AM has proceeded to the other side of the field, and this is good. Pull the goalie in a sense. Try to get that offense moving. and Tater doesn't want to see a second of it. Couldn't get the second touch on the wall, but Calix follows up from the corner to get past 2. 50-50 clears out, and Calix may just be going for the big solo play. Elite 2 AM with the save off the crossbar, and Misk following up with one of their own.
Final 30 seconds. You'd like to get yourself at least 1 here if you're the Trojans. Good look, an opportunity. Bang! Q-Boy Pluto will be able to find the first, and with 24 seconds left, there is enough time to be able to find a miracle off of the kickoff. But I think the most important thing is to get that monkey off the back and to get that first point on the board.
It is, but maybe there truly is more to this story of game number 1. Could McDowell get that equalizer to force overtime? It's going to be up to Elite 2 AM to find Very Misk on the outset, but it goes into Calix's hands for this shot. It's a bouncer near the net, and the save is made. Misk with one last chance. It's an air dribble across the half-court line. They've gathered a flip reset. They flip towards the ball, but it is Homer Center to kill it to the ground and take game 1.
Great job by Homer Center to come in here and, I mean, really controlled the pace from the word go. I mean, 13 shots. What more can you really ask for? You had pointed out the job that Panda Calix was doing earlier, finding the 2 saves, able to find the 7 shots as well. And for Panda Calix, yeah, you're not necessarily finding the goals. You're enabling your teammates, or I guess in this case, teammate, you're enabling Dark twice. But to be able to produce on both sides and leading the way, it's really what you would hope for in a sort of captain MVP sort of performance.
Absolutely, an all-rounder. And then you look on the side of McDowell, right? Misk leading the way in terms of points, and definitely in terms of the strategy for McDowell. I've kind of dissected it to the point of Misk sort of ball chasing in a way as to be that first head of the attack for McDowell. The first goal and only one that they found was the pass that Misk was able to make to get the ball to the net for Q-Boyd to score. But there were moments for McDowell where Q-Boyd could have continued the offense, but Misk is flipping into the ball as well. I'd like to see Misk just be able to share the wealth when they do get those few opportunities on attack. If they're a well-oiled machine on those few possessions, McDowell would have even a better chance of competing against Homer Center.
I mean, 10 saves tells you that the defense definitely showed up to play. Unfortunately, at some point when you're getting challenged that much, they're going to let one across. You know what, though? How about you find yourself a quick one to start things off right up off of the kickoff, Q-Boy Pluto? Well, just like that, ask and you shall receive, and McDowell have a 1-goal lead.
Well, how about that? We didn't think we'd know when McDowell scored the first goal of the series. Now we're beginning game 2 with a lead from them. So I'm curious as to how Homer Center respond to this. Clearly, they're a team that we've only seen work from a tied position or ahead. Will they let the pressure of trailing get to them?
What happens? We know that they were able to put a barrage of shots towards the net in game number 1. I don't anticipate that changing just based off of the fact that they're behind. If anything, I feel like that would give them a reason to want to up the ante just a little bit. Of course, for McDowell, maybe the 1-goal lead could cause a false sense of security. Pressure here early, and Dark hits him with the raindrop drop top. I don't know, something about the flip-flop. It's a goal here early to tie things up in game number 2.
Well, you said it, Q. It's only going to inspire this Homer Center team to put more on the board, and so they do. Quick succession here for Homer Center on that possession, as we've got a tie game early on. Ball does go to Dark off the kickoff, but Misk clearly getting more comfortable in this ball game, able to work at the same pace of Homer Center so as to not feel like they're suffocated here on defense. Nice pass there towards the center of the field coming from Homer Center, but the teamwork just wasn't there to find a player to take the shot. Calix called to action as a teammate misses the ball, and that causes disaster. Misk thrives in it.
So it starts with a double commit in the corner, and it's part of the reason Calix has no gas in the tank here to make a play. Tater tries to come screaming across, and Really just didn't have our, not hater, but the second defender tries coming across and, well, didn't have a chance at it. So you know what? That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes here. So McDowell will be able to have that lead back for themselves. Homer Center, of course, we did see for them. I felt like the ability to really put multiple shots on target. So I feel like, don't be surprised if they find themselves back in a tie ball game relatively soon here.
It could very well happen, but that's if Homer Center are able to be cohesive on defense. We've seen the mistakes, and McDowell are clearly that team to punish on mistakes and punish on the other side as well. It's Calyx to take advantage of all the space given.
Takes it past one and gets just enough of it to be able to get it past that defender that was coming in screaming from the left side of your screen. We're not even 2 minutes into this thing. Just about. We got 2 goals on either side. We knew that Homer Center had the ability to turn up the heat on the offensive side of the ball, but McDowell showing that they have just as much ability to do the same thing here. And remember, with it being a best of 5, the bounce back in game number 2 is where a team who did fall short just a little bit in game number 1 has the ability to bring back that momentum a little bit in that. I guess what they call, turning it to the rubber match even in that game number 3. So I think as far as for McDowell, the way things have looked through the first half, you can't really have asked for much more. The big thing you are going to really want to do, though, is tighten up things just a bit on the defensive side. I'm not sure if the full commit to a player back in your goal the entire time, the way we've seen from Elite, is the move.
Yeah, the one thing that does allow for is a ton of space for the first shot taker on Homer Center on these counterattacks. And you saw Calyx miss that shot earlier. Had that been on target, it would have been another pretty simple follow through for this team. So that's the key for McDowell, is coordinating a defense that doesn't allow for those simpler shots. Really make Homer Center work for it. And let's see, Dark clearly having to work for space in the midfield there. Calyx barrels into it so as to not allow McDowell to have that open lane center field. Calyx able to continue their possession on this ball, sets up the air dribble. Misk does get a bump on the Calyx and says, no, I will not allow you to have free reign in the open air space of Forbidden Temple.
It's an important game here in game number 2. I mean, this thing's been back and forth as we see Tater bringing the aggression, and oh my goodness gracious, finding yet another one. It's free space. Calyx, it's a wide open net, and that's going to be Homer Center taking the lead with 72 seconds left. And I was about to say that this is exactly the danger that you could see for McDowell. You've been keeping up with Homer Center, but the fact that you're already behind in the series and now you fall behind entering into the final minute of play, the pressure is going to be felt for sure.
Pressure's felt. McDowell feeling a little vulnerable after having 4 demos conceded in a row. Just ripped apart to ashes by Tater, who was unleashed on that play. But speaking of unleashed, Misk with that side flick on the ball nearly had the tying goal. This one could put Homer Center to ahead. And Tater off the demos on the ball, puts it down off the backboard, pass completed, shot there, saved by Q-Boy Pluto. And Misk, a fantastic read off the backboard to put them in a bit safer territory. You're never quite safe from Tater, who just got his extermination.
I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the aggressive play that we're seeing from Tater, because it's not just about creating space off of the demo, right? It's what it does mentally. And I'm not sure why, but something so simple as a demo or even a bump can really make a player quite frustrated. And at least for now, it's done just enough for Homer Center for them to be able to get across the finish line. That was a tough match in game number 2. I almost thought the Trojans were going to be able to tighten up the series and send us off to game number 3 tied. But instead, they'll now have their backs up against the wall and be looking for a reverse sweep here.
Well, I know this is an odd outcome for me to take from that game. But if I'm taking anything from the series after game number 2, it is respect for McDowell. This is a winless team so far this season, but their performance in game number 2 really speaks to their adaptability and what they're just able to do in terms of competition, right? Homer Center, I mean, controlled the entire dynamic of game number 1, yet McDowell came out swinging, got that first goal, managed for a second, stayed toe-to-toe with Homer Center, and then, you know, they weren't really ready for those demos, Q. They weren't really ready for Tater to shove them off. So I'm hoping McDowell show more of that adaptability by avoiding those demos and keep trying to put those shots against Homer Center.
It just adds such an extra layer. I mean, you're already getting so much pressure, then you're kind of having to keep your head on a swivel as well. Otherwise, you're getting put back into your own respawn. So it just adds an extra layer to it. And it's definitely tough to adjust to, but you got to do it here and now because it's game number 3. One game away is Homer Center. McDowell was looking to strike first. Won't be able to find it there when Pluto was looking for a potential opportunity off the rebound, but that one also will find itself its right.
Really keeping my eye on Mist this game because they've been the front runner of this attack for McDowell, and they just have to have a cool head today. If they're stepping on their teammates' toes here and making those few offensive tries more difficult for his team, that's not going to help. These passes are key, though. Being the first member of those counterattack possessions, setting up the pass off the backboard, that's what the team needs. But for McDowell, they don't need these kind of plays. The pass off the backboard, perfect for Dark.
Easy. It's a simple pass from Tater, and Dark just gets a simple touch here, puts it home, and I mean, that's textbook. 40 seconds in is all it takes for Homer Center, and they're back into the driver's seat. Now McDowell start to feel that pressure with every possession. It starts to come up short. They would like to find themselves an equalizer sooner than later for sure, but for Homer Center, they're going to be keeping that pressure toward the net. Panda Calyx goes coast to coast with it. Even gets a little fancy. Almost looks like I guess you could say a Rocket League version of the finger roll. Puts it right in the perfect spot, and it's 2-0.
Just a little touch on it at the end puts the finesse needed for Homer Center to collect their 2-goal lead. Stark contrast between this game and the last, as we never saw a 2-goal lead at all in that game. But now Homer Center potential is through the roof, as 2 in 1 minute means they could aim for double digits if they keep this going.
Imagine if they were to keep that pace, to really be making a statement here for a team that's sitting at 2-2 on the semester, really looking to make a turn down the home stretch before playoffs. Of course, I feel like Homer Center is that perfect example of teams that we've seen in the past here at PIEA. They get hot at the right time. A big performance here really could be the catalyst for them to really start feeling themselves. It's Panda Calyx off that sidewall. Second touch. Can't quite find it, but you know what? I love to see the creativity. I love to see them feeling comfortable going for that here in this environment.
The one thing we've noticed about the McDowell defense is they're not too good when it comes to the backboard. Shot just goes wide there for Homer Center. Could have been their third, but you're noticing Homer Center utilizing that backboard, right? Getting the passes or the shots up high is putting McDowell in too vulnerable of a position. So that's part of why you're seeing that creative display up high. Oh, nearly the double demo there for Homer Center to clear the lane, but they'll have to deal with another possession from McDowell.
First half, we've been spending quite a bit of time over on this side of the field. About 3/4 of the time has been spent over here. So you can understand why for McDowell, they've only been able to find themselves 2 shots. And you've already allowed 2 goals. That's not really the recipe for success that you're looking for. However, hold on a second. That pinch could potentially found something if Dark wasn't right there in the way. And instead, now as Panda Calyx takes up to the sky, is another attack here for Homer Center. Dark follows it up, but that one sails just a tad high.
A lot of these shots in game number 3 just right off the mark for Homer Center. And we talked about that on pace for 10 goals this game. Had some of these shots been on target, that might be the case. And look at Panda Calyx go up for the double tap off the backboard. Another shot that nearly misses the mark and gives McDowell another chance to try to fight back. But the ball quickly stolen as Tater moved it to the backboard. Long clear for McDowell, has Calyx following up on the attempted Cookser pinch, but runs out of boost and runs out of room to make the effort. Pass up the backboard should convert here, but again a missed shot from Homer Center. McDowell thanking their lucky stars.
Yeah, unfortunate that McDowell wasn't able to quickly pick up that ball though, because everyone was forward for Homer Center, an opportunity to be able to break out of their half, and instead still caught in their half until Cuboid Pluto at least finds a way to break past the 50. The problem, and Tater had already rotated back, so the attempt towards the net gets thwarted. It's shut down. However, 2026 Elite 2 AM steps right on in, sends it off of the backboard, follows it up, and finds a way to take this lead and cut it in half.
I told you, they're from the future. They were going to forecast a goal at some point this series, and it's an important one for McDowell. Little extra time compared to game 1 when they had scored their first goal in about 20 seconds left. 40 seconds allows for a couple possessions, a couple chances here, but this is the moment. They are unable to score in the next 30 seconds, and this series is over.
It starts with finding their way out of their half. They've done that. Hold on, that ball will keep it in front of the net. Is anyone there to follow it up? Oh, leads off of the post. That's one that you want to have back. However, they will be able to keep it inside of the blue half. Dark will eventually rise on up and sends it all the way down to the McDowell half. So it's time off of the clock. It's sent back into the corner. You gotta pop it up here. Cuboid Pluto does just that, but sent right back down in Homer Center. While they make things interesting, they will be able to reach into the cupboard, breaks out the broom, and they'll complete the sweep.
Sweep completed indeed. Homer Center do it with the finesse of the finger roll and the demonic play of those demolitions. I love that each player kind of worked to their strengths this game. We saw the high flying acrobatics of Dark and Panda Calyx on the offensive end, and then we saw the rough and tumble of Tater, the extermination in game 2, the bumps and demos that led to McDowell being unable to stabilize during this series. We saw great adjustments from McDowell, but I think honing individual strengths really led to that sweep, that win here today for Homer Center.
Yeah, for Homer Center, I mean, hitting a turnabout in their season where they really need it. I had mentioned coming in today at the 2-2, so to be able to put yourself over that 500 mark, put yourself in the hunt for that number 4 spot. The big thing is putting yourself into that top 4, and from there, it's that any given Sunday sort of feel. Look, I get it. You're in the Penn conference. It's a tough conference to be in right now. When you look at the top and you got teams like Belle, Vernon, and Penn, Trafford, but you know, again, we've seen crazier things happen in PIEA. We even saw here, you know, a team on the other side of the pitch who you mentioned sits where they haven't picked up a series win yet. They look pretty darn good despite the fact that they did get swept here. So I think that just goes to show the talent that's over here at PIEA. We do have 2 series on the day here, so we're not quite done yet over here on the channel. But if it is your first time through, we haven't done so yet, make sure you hit that follow button down below, turn those notifications on. But we're going to take ourselves a quick little break here, and on the other side, we're going to stay on board with some more D1 action. It's going to be Penn Trafford versus Belle Vernon. It's a undefeated squad on either side of the pitch. It should be good. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back right after a break.
Dreams collide in sleepless nights. stars explode through blinding lights. Victories found in the fight. I'm on top, my soul ignites. Life's a game, we learn the rules. Twist and turn like misfit fools. Through the pain we break the chains. Find the win through loss and gains. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings. Castles built on hope's foundation. Rivers run with pure elation. Through the storm I'll find my way. Triumph shines like break of day. Tides may turn, but I remain steady, strong, won't yield to pain. In the end, the truth will show. Strength and heart, the seeds we sow. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race, I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings. Tides may turn, but I remain steady, strong, won't yield to pain. In the end, the truth will show. Strength and heart, the seeds we sow. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race, I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings.
Shaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain game of survival. Any time or place, watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take
And we are back, and I hope y'all are ready. I told y'all before the break that series number 2 was going to be a banger, and this thing should be good. Belle Vernon versus Penn Trafford. Neither of these squads have dropped a series. Matter of fact, neither of these two squads have dropped a single game. This one should be a banger. Are you ready, Pyro?
I'm ready, but I'm wondering if these teams are mentally ready. I mean, they understand that this season has been maybe not a walk in the park, but they kind of get to shut their stuff on every series saying we are untouchable. But one of these teams, at the very least, is going to have a rude awakening in this matchup. So I'm excited to see kind of the development of the series. After one team loses, how do they bounce back? How do they act against that resistance? So let's get into it. One of these teams has to go down. It's either Penn Trafford or Belle Vernon, and we got game 1 right now.
This is tough too, because for both of these squads, this is technically an out of conference game. Generally, you're more worried about your tougher conference opponents, right? Because that's what really sets you up, at least in the winter when we talk about for those conference playoffs. But when you talk about for seeding, to be already undefeated and have to be going against the best of the opposite bracket has to be a kind of a tough draw for you, but also a nice chance to really be able to, I guess, really test your wits about it. So I guess if you like challenges, it's one thing. Penn Trafford, if there's one thing we know about that program, they love a challenge, and they've already got themselves a first goal here, Pyro.
I really like the positioning from Juice there. It kept the defense honest, expected a clear, but just in case that ball bounces into the paint, they're there to clean up. 1-0 Penn Trafford.
Trying to remember, I believe it was Penn Trafford who was our winners at the Land of Steel just a couple of weeks ago, and wouldn't be surprised to see them making a run for the end of our playoffs run. But you know what? It does look like it's not going to be without a word from Belle Vernon. A very quick response for them to tie things up, Pyro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned Penn Trafford being the Land of Steel winners. It was this team, but it wasn't. Johnny was there. Mr. Pancake and Juice, though, were not. That was Extensi and Grills that played alongside Johnny. So it's a different makeup of this team, still under the same banner, and they will be under duress. Nugget, that counterattack goal off the dribble play, puts Belle Vernon ahead.
I'll be interested to see how this version of this roster does, especially now. You put yourself in the lead early. Now all of a sudden you find 2 goals being put up against you. What can you do? Luckily enough, they still got 4 minutes left on the clock here. As well, we've had a lot of early action, and you know what? Honestly, sign me up. We've only got 2 series on the day, Pyro, so give me a fireworks show here in series 2.
Absolutely. It's still those variety of fireworks being shown. I think the grand finale might still come. Hold on. That could have been one for the highlight reel. But the flip reset is defended, and it is a stark reminder for both teams that, you know, you can put out the best offensive plays, but you're going to be matched up by an even better defense at times.
Yeah, Oogsway, more like Oogsway. That thing was nasty, man. Nice save on the goal line to be able to pull things off. Finds another one here as well, as Oogsway really stepping up on the defensive end here for Belle Vernon. It's crazy to think that we've only got 2 minutes that have gone by. Both teams have really been bringing the flair here. It's strange to think because it's only been 5 shots throughout the first 2 minutes, but both teams definitely bringing some fight to them. Juice looking to try and find a way on out for this Warriors squad. Mr. Pancake not going to be able to find a touch there. Johnny looking to win the 50, gets that one as it creeps up the wall. Johnny, the simple touch to leave it down, but Nugget from right to left will be able to get just enough for Belle Vernon to put this thing out of harm's way.
Good read from Johnny. Expected that ball to come off the backboard and able to get a consecutive touch on the wall challenge. But keeping the ball high is Belle Vernon, and they're able to drop it low. Oogsway for the third.
I Nice and easy here. Jumps right on in and gets fancy. Takes to the sky and drops it down. It's like clockwork here as the Leopards will be up by 2 here with 2:18 left to play. Of course, this is just game 1. We can talk all day about making adjustments here. The Warriors do seem to have their hands full indeed. Oogway was looking for it there. It's a wide open net the opposite way, and Mr. Pancake will be able to capitalize. And we've got ourselves a 1-goal ball game.
This could be a turning point for Penn Trafford. If I'm going to be completely honest, earlier I saw Mr. Pancake be a little more inconsistent on the field, have some missed ball touches along with some great plays, but that lightning fast shot, that threaded the needle between the defense and the post was immaculate. And now you got the whole team working. Juice for the flip reset goal to tie up the ball game.
Who's got the juice? Yo, he does. That's another goal right there. Added on up to the tally. We're tied up at 3 with 1:57 left to play. It's crazy to think that this is just game number 1, and I'm really hoping that this is an early indicator of what we're in for. Belle Vernon, however, will make sure that they've still keep themselves the lead. It's a nice kickoff play just right up off of the backboard, and, well, when the biscuit's in front of the basket, it's going to be good eats each and every time.
Yeah, you get those kickoff wily moments where teams like to take advantage of the chaos, and UVV did that excellently. Maybe another chance on the kickoff. Almost there as the free ball went high. Demoed player could open up some lanes for Belle Vernon as the ball comes off the side wall. And it'll be Oogway to follow this slowly. Has the full tank of boost to muster up a 50 off the backboard, setting up Nugget. But the angle a bit too tight for him to muster.
In the corner looking for a pass. Oh, it's in the right spot. Unfortunately, can't drop it onto the hood. I like the A for effort. Unfortunately, just not quite going to be able to find the result they're looking for. Nugget, nice touch. Oogway fires it on target. Second follow-up. Won't quite find it as it will be high here as well, but it is more pressure forward. Nugget, it's a touch across. Oogway looks for the shot fired off the follow there, but unfortunately, just enough from the defense to shut it down.
And with Oogway, that long clear could be a dagger for game 1. 2-goal lead would be a nice, comfy cushion, I guess, between both teams. But Belle Vernon will have to fight harder for it. Oogway, another clear off his own backboard, lands in the hands of Juice, who's in search of Johnny. One touch may turn into 2 off the flip. Pass over to Juice gets denied by Nugget. And those denials are the essential factor here for Belle Vernon to close this game. They just need those interceptions. They just need 1 or 2 more stops. Juice's backflip able to get past 1. Juice's fake pass 2. A low 50 on top of Oogway. Sets up for the center of the field play. But it's down in no man's land. Oogway sees it to the ground. And Belle Vernon continue that undefeated streak.
I think that was Johnny we had seen was going for that bump on that third back defender. And if they did, it would have been a wide open net. And talk about a way to end things that would have been, or not even to end things, but to tie things up, send it off to overtime. You know, Belle Vernon here really stepping up to the table. Both teams walking away with 6 shots, but for Belle Vernon, finding the back of the net one additional time here, Pyro.
Really impressed by both teams. We talked about how neither team has lost a single game this season. Penn Trafford no longer able to say that. Again, you're fall brawl champions. So to see the Titan fall is quite the effort out of Belle Vernon. But Belle Vernon know that it's not going to be a simple path all the way through this series. They had to make some great defensive plays as well throughout this matchup. Oogway 3 for 3 on the saves. I'd like to see Penn Trafford test some of the other players on Belle Vernon with some nice shots for some saves out of them, Q, as this series far from being able to be called.
Yeah, I would love to see this thing go 5. I feel like it's going to really require everything from all 3 players over on that Penn Trafford side. You mentioned a little bit of a different roster the team who did walk away from that Land of Steel as champions. But hey, the good news is game number 1's results technically don't matter. We're going to reset the scores on either side of the scoreboard, put 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go ahead and get down to it, Pyro.
And remembering there were a couple kickoff goals as well. This could be one to start out game number 2 on Forbidden Temple. I'd like to say there's some zen here, but I think players are taking a different time to meditate. It's off to the races at the start.
I feel like it'd be easy enough to say for Penn Trafford that you would really like to find an early goal, but I think the big thing for Penn Trafford is you would like to find a way to really control the pace of the game. While Penn Trafford was up at one point, then Belle Vernon, it still felt like had the longer possessions and had looked more dangerous at times. As we are talking about that offense from Belle Vernon, well, they'll be able to find themselves a first. It's a pretty simple one as Nugget turns on this thing. Yeah, uses the bar, but at the end of the day, it hits the lace. Belle Vernon up 1-0.
Yeah, you might as well use the entire width of the net there, as it does create the avenue to get around those lunging defenders. Speaking of which, Juice unable to lunge in front of this one. It is Nugget again.
2 shots, 2 goals. That's a heck of a way to start things off if you're Nugget. And a real way to silence a Penn Trafford squad that was coming into game number 2, really looking to make a statement and hoping to send things off to the rubber match. Tie it up. As far as for now, I guess at least the good news, if you're Penn Trafford, surrendering 2 early goals means that you do have plenty of time to find a response. But importantly, it does mean your defense has to hold the line, and the Leopards really seem to be looking to pounce. They're down here on this blue half once more.
Flip reset, Nugget over towards the backboard, easily handled by Penn Trafford. We're searching for that exit. Belle Vernon haven't been able to produce those routes very easily for Penn Trafford, as they're caught up on their own side of the field once again. Mr. Pancake, a heroic save, but it's got to turn into a couple. Juice able to handle from the goal line, wants to leave it for a teammate. Juice picks back up and has no boost to push this forward, doing a lot with a little there on the 50-50. And Pancake giving no room to the aerial efforts of Belle Vernon. Impressed by Belle Vernon and Penn Trafford, and the way that they meet each other in the sky. It really speaks to the high potential of both teams and the willingness to combat at those high efficiencies in the air.
Well, we're 10 seconds away from that midway point in game number 2. And for Belle Vernon, who walked away with a win in game number 1, not only are they up 2 goals here in game number 2, I think the more important thing is they've been able to control the possession, right? I feel like you control the ball in a game of Rocket League. Once you have the lead, you start to get a little bit more of that frustration of the opposition. They know that they're only going to get so many opportunities, so many looks, especially when they're spending so much time pinned back inside their defensive third. As whose way? It's Oog's way. Belle Vernon going to go up 3-0.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the continued possession, and this is the fruits of their labor. Oog's way. Clear the path, and if you try to get in the way, you're going to pray for another day. Belle Vernon, 3-0. And this story certainly changing here, Q, as they're leaving Penn Trafford in their dust.
It's one of those ones, if you're on Penn Trafford, you just sit there and you got your hands up like, what more do you want me to do? You're going to tell me he gets off of the shot, bumps me, and is in the right spot to flip it back in the goal. Like, what more am I supposed to do as a defender? The tough position to find yourself in. I feel like right now, if you are the Warriors, you just have to find some semblance of offense to be able to build upon going into game number 3. And maybe that sounds a little negative with still 85 seconds left. Generally, in a situation, I would say that's a lot of time. But I think with just the way that Belle Vernon are looking right now on the offensive side of the ball. Penn Trafford have to find a way to sharpen their swords before going into game 3.
Ooh, well, a little sharper, and they would have pierced through for first goal, but we'll have to contend with the post instead. I've been most impressed with the 50-50 game out of Belle, Vernon. A lot of times they'll clear it off their own backboard, follow up with the air dribble, and then dunk the next player from Penn Trafford, trying to get in front of the ball. And it's that forward thinking out of Belle, Vernon that they just have a little bit better against Penn Trafford. Got to improve that 50 game if they want to get that edge. 3-0, still 30 seconds remaining. Belle, Vernon trying to put the red carpet out here and walk it to the finish line.
The big thing, if you're the Leopards, you would love to be able to keep the clean sheet, take any bit of wind out of the sails that Penn Trafford may have. Here at the end of game number 2, it's a pass back to Nugget. There's a look, but it will be just a tad bit high, and second touch will send it over towards the sidewall. One more look for Penn Trafford here, actually given one more opportunity. Johnny will capitalize, and at the end of the day, yeah, it's a cosmetic goal, and sure, you can say you capitalized on a botched opportunity for the clear, but it really doesn't mean too much. If anything, for Penn Trafford, it's just a feel-good goal, I suppose.
That'll certainly be the case here as we wrap up game number 2 of this best of 5. It's first to 3. Penn Trafford forced to make the reverse sweep against the undefeated Belle, Vernon, who hasn't dropped a match nor a game yet this season. Again, to speak on the performance of Belle, Vernon, I am utmostly impressed by Nugget. Not only the 50% shot completion is, strikes my eye, but I am most impressed with the way they coordinate themselves around the ball. It's always that extra play, right? It's this air dribble down the field, and then I'm going to dunk you after. It's this shot off your own backboard, and then I'm going to bump you out of the way when you try to save the ball. That off-the-ball work and that 50-50 game from Nugget just keeps pushing Penn Trafford back.
Well, Nugget is using the most boost on the pitch, at least in that last game, I can tell you that. And it feels like, as far as for Nugget, they have the ability to, be very sticky to the ball whenever they are on it, is really trying to be there, but also just feels like, too, mechanically, seems to be on a different sort of level. But I think what I like despite that is sometimes we'll see teams in PIEA, they'll have, thinking of teams in the past, like a Pig B for Forest Hills in the previous years, who sometimes they'll just go for the individual mechanic plays because they're just built different. And it feels like for Nugget, they still try to find ways to get Oogsway involved and really try and make sure that they're not the only one over on that Belle, Vernon side. And as part of what's really feels like has helped lead to their success. Let's hit the pitch one more again and see if Belle, Vernon can run it back a third time.
Again, Belle, Vernon with their greatest challenge to test what could be one of the greatest milestones here in PIEA, a undefeated fall semester, not just in matches but in games. Could they really sweep the Penn Trafford? It comes down to this game number 3, in which Penn Trafford need quite the turnaround and quite the antidote against players like this. Nugget dipping it off to UVV, but they're not able to combine their efforts for that first goal. Penn Trafford staying alive for now.
Buried down inside this Belle, Vernon side, at least for the time being. Mr. Pancake will retreat back to the defensive side. Juice also takes to the sky, but isn't going to be needed to shut that one down. But kind of grouped up in the corner, it will eventually be Johnny. Does find the clear. The only problem is, well, I was going to say the clear is it ends up putting it onto the hood of a Belle, Vernon player. But you know what? Johnny says that's not going to be an issue. I'll just jump right on in here. I'll take those cookies and I'll dunk it right on home. And that's going to be an early lead for Penn Trafford.
Cookie crumbles not so well for Belle, Vernon there, as, Johnny, what a pickpocket there off the ceiling. Incredible mechanical display. We were talking about that earlier, and woo, A doink the other side almost leads to an own goal against Belle Vernon. A 2-0 start would not have been the way they wanted to keep that undefeated record. They'll be able to survive that, and Nugget keeps the ball exactly where they want in Penn Trafford's half.
Back, and Belle Vernon has been able to keep pressure back here. Only found 3 shots in the opening 100 seconds, and well, I say only 3 shots. It's felt like with the amount of pressure they've had down there, you thought they'd have more, but you know what? Eventually, they'll be able to find one. It's slotted top bin. I believe you said UV. Be able to score here, punches this one home, and hey, we got ourselves a tie ball game.
That's exactly what you expect from Belle Vernon, right? Is clapping back, responding proactively. They're not going to wait, right? There's a lot of Rocket League teams that say it's a 1-point game. We can react to whatever our opponents are doing and we can score eventually. No, Belle Vernon know what they're capable of, and they're going to strike the net at every given opportunity, including this one. Nugget picked up the pass on the turnaround, but it was well intercepted by Penn Trafford. They're bringing it the other way. Johnny on the flip reset nearly gets to the net. And Trafford continuing their possession as Johnny cuts rotation. Back pass over to Mr. Pancake, nearly dunking Oozway. But again, at each end, Belle Vernon putting up the wall.
Belle Vernon looking good. They've got 4 saves thus far. It looks like that could very well have dropped in. Mr. Pancake will be able to find themselves a save. Nugget, 1 touch, looks for the waterfall angle. Would have been it had it not been picked back on up, but it will be now Penn Trafford. An opportunity the opposite way. Only 1 though, as Belle Vernon's defense does what it's been doing quite a bit throughout the course of the afternoon, and that's making sure it's 1 look and that's it. Oogzway will be able to find the bar down ski, and with that, Belle Vernon take the lead.
Penn Trafford kind of caught in each other's way there on the rotation around the ball. Players just getting jumbled up, and it really speaks to the importance of playing your role, communicating effectively, and rotating on that back post so as to not get in each other's way. Those rotations ball side can really confuse a team and leave them empty-handed on the saves. Belle Vernon does capture a lead, but there's plenty of time for Penn Trafford to get it right back.
Hold on, Oogzway has a chance. 50 will send back towards the middle. Juice looks for a big touch back towards the opposite side of the field. It's off the side wall. Nugget will be able to win the 50 onto this one. 85 seconds left. There's a bump onto Juice. That ball in a dangerous spot. Shot not quite gonna find its mark. Oogzway will be able to pick it up and gets the assistance, and Belle Vernon still on the attack here. Juice finds a touch and has an opportunity to flip the pitch and flip the script, but Nugget does a great job of keeping it alive and down here on the blue half.
Nice work there from Mr. Pancake. Had the half flip a little awkwardly to get to that ball, but managed to get the clear nonetheless. Now Johnny in search of a bump on the backboard. This is a commit from too many players of Belle Vernon, leading to an open look for Juice.
Shot by Juice, just finds the slot here to bang it on home. Sees Oogzway's in the back of the goal and says, hey, he's probably going to try and go high on a squishy save, if anything. I'll keep this thing right on low. 52 seconds. Oogzway will send it towards the net. Juice will be able to at least send it towards the side, and could very well be silver gold territory if we don't end up going to that extra time. Johnny looks to try and slam one home here, but will be denied.
I feel like we need that OT. That would be just perfect to encapsulate this Titan v Titan matchup, but it doesn't really look like either team wants to wait around for it. Johnny's going to bypass the ball and take the boost instead, leading Oogzway to push upfield without any resources. Juice gets the dunk. It's nearly on target. It rips right off the post. Could have been the game winner for Penn Trafford. The ball left for a teammate. The long clear downfield. Juice without any boost to catch it off the backboard, but the save made from Oogzway. Nugget up high to UV for the shot. It hits the ground, and we go to OT.
I thought that was going to be a 0-second heartbreaker where Belle Vernon finds that goal and there's no overtime, but here we are, one shot. It's all it takes to either end this series or send us off to game number 4. Juice will find the first touch, picks up the big pad as well, but won't be able to maintain the possession. Johnny Shire fires a shot, but Nugget at least sends a save, sends it towards the sidewall. Oogsway also sends it back towards the side. Penn Trafford right now playing relentless towards the net.
Johnny, that's the look, just wide on the shot, but certainly had the right idea on that rotation. Getting a read on how Belle Vernon are clearing this ball finally, but is it too late? It is! On the turnaround, Oogsway picks up the dish from you, and there's your winner of the series, Belle Vernon.
Oogsway to Oogsway, able to punch things home here and end things in game number 3. Another series, it feels like it really deserved a games 4, maybe even a game number 5. This thing was close in each and every one of those games that we just saw. Game 3 was no different. But for Belle Vernon, they came in here in this battle of titans and they made Penn Trafford look like just an ordinary team here in the PIEA.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. Like there's no shorthand for many of these players on the Belle Vernon. Everyone came alive. I'll finally, for one last time, highlight Nugget because we saw more off the ball work done on the bumps, on the completions. Clutch factor definitely in game 3 goes to Oogsway for their goals, but yeah, everyone from Belle Vernon coming out huge. And how about that, Q? We still have an undefeated team. I thought for sure after this match, both teams would have dropped the game, but Belle Vernon just built different.
What's interesting is I was trying to think back to this Belle Vernon squad last year, and you know, generally we'll see where like a team will go from like middle of the pack to like up towards the top. I don't remember this Belle Vernon squad having very much pop last year. So to see them looking as good as they are, and not just as far as the numbers, but we got to see it with our very own eyes against a team that we know, a very high caliber team in their own right too. Very, very impressive. So yeah, very fun. Unfortunately though, that is it for the day, Pyro, which is sad because it's always a blast to be able to get up on the mic with you, friend. But I do got to make sure that we're giving a big shout out to the man behind the curtain because, of course, we get the easy job. We get excited about pixels. Got to give a big shout out to Haza, who's pressing the buttons here, the eyes and the skies, giving us the views and the vibes. Without him, we don't really have a picture to be able to narrate for you guys. So also make sure we're giving a big shout out to all of our teachers and staff at all our schools that allow for our students to have an opportunity like the one that we have here. But until we get to catch y'all back for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? That's Pyro. I'm Q. For the rest of the crew here from the front to the back, y'all have a great rest of your week. Peace. We're out of here.